Okay, welcome everyone to Guided Project 7-3. We are in week 8 for the class. So in this project, we are going to modify the Tuscany cycling tour itinerary for the American River Cycling Club. And we do various things in this one. We convert text to a table, modify the table, insert pictures, crop and modify pictures, and insert and modify shapes. There's lots going on in this one. And we're going to compare, so in a minute when we get our start file, we want to compare our start file to our answer key at the end of our instructions. So I've already pulled my instructions. You can go ahead and get yours and then save a copy or print a copy for yourself. We also have some resource files here, so I'm going to go ahead, first thing, before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and grab my resource file. And this time I am in Chrome, doing something different today. But I get my Explorer window here. I'm just simply dragging it over to my desktop to copy the files for Guided Project 7-3. And we can close out of that. We'll grab our start file, and it actually comes down in the bottom left corner if you didn't notice previously. I know I'm normally in the upper right, but we'll be down lower left here today. Okay, let that go ahead and load. So we need to enable editing, of course. We always do that. We'll do our file save as here. Get it to the desktop. That's where I'll just put it. Okay, so I want you to take a minute and see what this looks like just in their raw start file compared to what it's going to look like in our completed file. Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and start our file here. Now that you've seen a comparison, we're going to get some pictures in on the right side and do some fun things with it. Okay, so we are starting really on step 3 because we've already done 1 and 2. So the first thing we want to do is convert the text to a table and modify the table. So we want to change the top, bottom, left, and right margins to 0.5 of the document. So we want, it looks like, to have a little bit narrower margins. So if you remember, that's in page layout and then margins over here on the left. And we will create custom margins. Actually, technically, we could go narrow here because we want the top, bottom, left, and right all to be 0.5, so we can just do narrow margins, and that should work for us. And you can see that it made our margin over here on the, well, all sides a little bit narrower. And now we want to select the entire document. So if you remember how to do that, you want to Control A to select all. And now we want to click the Table button, and that is on the Insert tab, Tables Group. And we are going to go down to this option to convert text to table. So you'll see that a lot. So kind of commit this one to memory. We're inserting a table and then we're converting text to table. Okay, and we want to, let's see, in the table size area, set the number of columns to 1. So we want our vertical columns to just be 1. But then we want AutoFit in the behavior area. So AutoFit to window radio button. Okay, and now in the separate text, separate text at. So where will the table areas separate? We're going to make it at the paragraphs. So mine is already on paragraphs, which work. We want to then click OK. Okay, so it has given us 25 now rows and 1 column. as you can see. But we're not done yet. So with our table still selected, and if you happen to deselect, go ahead and just Control A. Again, we want to click the Borders drop down arrow, and that's in the Table Tools Design tab, which we're on Table Tools up here, and then Design. Borders Group. So here's our borders over here. And select No Border to remove all of the borders. So we'll say No Border. So what we've effectively done is we've put in a table, although without borders we can't really see, so they won't print. But we still want to see the grid lines so we know where all of those lines are. So in the Table Tools Layout tab, we're just going to switch over here to Layout. We can go to the View Grid Lines, and that's on the far left here. And that way we see all these little dotted lines, and that will show us where our breaks are, if you will, or see the table grid lines anyway. Okay, now on to step 4. We want to insert a column and merge cells. So we actually want to make this one column now into 2. So in step A, insert a column to the right of the existing column. Select the entire, never mind. Okay, so we've got our column, really, the whole thing. So we are going to insert right here, because we want our column to be to the right. Okay, so that just put a second column to the right and put all of our text in the left column. And now we want to select the entire second column and apply the normal text style. So it's already selected for me, but I can just double check with my little black arrow and clicking on it. So now if we go home, we can get our styles, and we want to make sure it's the normal style. Okay. Now select the two cells in the first row and click the Merge Cells button. So now we want this title to stretch across both of these cells in the very top, so we're just going to select both of them, and we are going to go to the Table Tools Layout tab, and then we are going to click on Merge Cells. So what that has done is merge the two columns into one, but for that one row only. Now step D, select the cells in the second column in rows 2 through 4 and click the Merge Cells button. So in rows, this is row 2, 3, 4, so you can see they correspond with our day 1. We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to merge cells. So that made all of these cells into one. And then we want to repeat step 4D to merge the 3 cells in the second column to the right of each day. Okay, so we want to make sure that there's, this is day 2, we want to merge all of these 3 cells to correspond with day 2. We'll do it again on day 3, merge cells, and again on day 4, merge cells, and again on day 5, merge cells, again on day 6, merge cells, again on day 7, merge cells, again on day 8, merge cells. Okay, so we're good there. Let's see. So now on step 5, we want to insert, resize, crop, and modify and align pictures. So we want to place our insertion point to the cell in the second cell. Place the insertion point in the cell in the second column to the right of the day 1 content. So here's day 1 content. We're just going to put our cursor right in the cell to the right, and we want to insert the day 1-07 picture. So we'll do this on the insert. So we're going to insert a picture. So we go to Insert, Picture, and then we find our pictures. Let's see. Let me get it here so I can actually, I bet it's at the top. Guided Project 7-3. So we want, maybe make this bigger so you guys can see it maybe a little better. Okay, so day 1-07. I'm just going to click on that, and then I'm going to insert. Okay, so it brings my picture in. Now in the size group, and that's on the picture tools format, which we're in, it's this purple one. In the size area over here on the right, we want to make sure the width, or sorry, we want to change the width of the picture to 2.5, and then it tells us that the height will automatically adjust to maintain the aspect ratio. So I'm just going to type in 2.5 and then enter, and it changed the size for me. Now we want to crop it, so we want to click the crop drop down. So this top box is the regular crop, but this crop drop down with the arrow actually gives us more options. And we can, one of the things we can do is we can crop to a shape. So basically it'll make us our picture, instead of being a square, we can make it an oval or whatever we want to. This particular one we're going to do a rounded rectangle. So we're going to crop to shape, and then these are our rectangles at the top. We want a rounded rectangle, which is the second one in. So we will click on it, and now it's very subtle, but you can see that it kind of in the corners made little rounded corners. So that's kind of fun. Now step E, click the Picture Effects button. Again, that's on the Picture Tools Format tab. Picture Styles group. So these are all of our picture styles, and we're going to click the, let's see, oh, sorry, this whole thing is the picture styles. We want picture effects, is what it tells us in step E. And then we want to pick shadow, and then we want to pick offset center in the outer area. So this is our outer area, so we want to hover over and find the one that says offset shadow, or offset center. Sorry, I'm really going to mess you guys up. Shadow and then offset center. So it's the one in the center. How convenient. Okay, so what that has done is put a shadow, a slight little shadow border around our picture. And now with the picture selected in step F, click the Align Center button, which is on the Table Tools Layout tab over here in the yellow tan color. Alignment Group, so that's over here, and we are going to center the picture vertically and horizontally in the cell. So if we click the one right in the middle, it's Align Center, and it centers the text. It says text, but it's also for an image, horizontally and vertically. And when we do that, you can see that it moved our picture to, this is a whole entire cell right here, and it has centered the picture horizontally and vertically. So that's quite nice. Now it tells us in step G to repeat steps 5B through F to insert and format the pictures for all of the rest of the days. So we will go ahead and get our cursor in for day 2. We are going to insert a picture. We'll get our day 2 picture, and we'll say insert. Okay, now if we step back to the beginning of this step to make sure we can figure out what we want to do first we need to change the width of the picture to 2.5. 2.5, enter. Okay, so we've resized it, and then we want to crop it to a shape. So remember how we did that. Rounded rectangle. And now we want to click the picture effects right here, get our shadow. In the outer group we want to center it, offset center. Okay, and then we want to align it. That's on the layout, Table Tools Layout tab, and we can get our align vertically and horizontally. Okay, so we've got number 2 done. Go down to number 3. Do it again, insert pictures, get day 3, insert, change the size. Now we're starting to memorize what we need to do, right? 2.5, enter, crop to a shape, a rounded rectangle. We want to add our shadow in the outer center, and then we want to align it horizontally and vertically. Okay, now on to day 4, insert pictures, day 4, insert, change our size, change our width to 2.5, crop to a shape, add our shadow, and then align it centered. Day 5, feel free to fast forward me on this part if you don't want to see me insert all of these, but we'll go ahead for practice, or you can just listen to me talk while you do it yourself. Crop to shape, rectangle, picture effect, shadow, down to the center one, layout, align horizontally and vertically. Day 6, one thing I'll really caution you on is that you're putting the right day, so day 6 needs to go in the right place. Okay, sorry for the interruption there. Let's see, we've got 2.5. Yeah, we just want to make sure that our correct picture is corresponding. Okay, so we'll get our effects, our shadow. Everybody memorized all these steps. Day 7. That one looks good. Got some food on there. Oops, not 25, 2.5. Crop it to a shape. Grab our picture effects. Align it. Alright, we're almost there. Now we've got day 8. Got all these lovely pictures on this tour. Crop to our shape. Apply our effect. And then center. Okay. Got them all in there now. Now what we're going to do in step 6, we're finally on to step 6, is we are going to auto-fit the table to contents. So basically we want to make, by doing this, it'll make our right column narrower and our left column bigger, just so that it'll give us more room for our text. So it tells us to select the entire table, and the way we can do this is in the upper left corner. We can click this little box, and it'll select our entire table for us. And now if we go to the Table Tools Layout tab, which we're already on, and then the cell size group, we have the option for AutoFit, and then we can AutoFit contents. Okay, so when we do that, you'll notice it made this column a lot wider, so that this column, it just fit basically right around this image. So it's a little bit better balanced. Step 7, draw, resize, and modify a shape. So go to the first page of the itinerary and center the text in the first row. So this row, our title, we want to center it, so we can go home and just center. Now we want to click the Shapes button, Insert tab, Illustration group, Insert tab. This is our illustration group where we have the option for shapes, and we want to select Rounded Rectangle in the rectangle area. Okay, here's our rectangle. We'll get our rounded rectangle. Now it changes our cursor to that plus sign. That's saying it's waiting for us to draw a shape. So now we want to draw a shape around the text in the first row of the table. And the way we can do this, we just take our cursor where we want it, where we want to start it, and we hold down the left mouse button while we drag, and it'll draw a nice rectangle around the title. Okay, now it of course covered the title, but we'll fix that. Now we want to change the height to 3.5 inches, or sorry, 0.35. That'll make a big difference. And then width to 5.2. Okay. And now step E, with the shape selected, click the Shape Fill button. That's on our Drawing Tools Format tab. Shape Fill right over here. And our fill is going to be Red Accent 2. So let's get red. Accent 2 is the top one. Click the Shape Fill button again, and now we want Gradient, and that is in step F. And then select Linear Up in the Dark Variations area. So these are our dark variations, and linear diagonal, linear down, linear diagonal. So you can kind of figure out, oh, it's showing us a picture in the figure of which one we want to pick. So you can see what that's done when I pick it, is it kind of made, it's very subtle, but it made like a little gradient in our picture. And now we want to click the Shape Outline button, and we do not, let's see, we want our outline to be green in the standard colors, so we'll pick green. Oh, that's quite interesting. It feels like Christmas. Now click the Shape Outline button again, select Weight, and then select 2 1/4 points. Shape Outline, Weight, 2 1/4 points. So we're thickening that outline. Okay, now we want to, in step 8, align and order a shape. So right now, this lovely little rounded rectangle that we have is in front of our title, and in this step we're going to move it behind our title. So with the shape selected, click the Align button, and that's on the Drawing Tools Format tab. Arrange Group, and select, oh, so this is our Arrange Group, and it wants us to align to margin. Okay, so we are going to align to margin. That is selected. It says it should have a check to the left of it, which it does, so I won't click on it. I won't do anything. Now we want to, in step B, click the Align button and select Align Center. So we've got our align. We want to align center. So that's aligning it in the center of the cell here. Click the Align button again and select Align Middle. Okay, so what that did is it aligned it vertically within the cell, and this is just for the shape. And now we want to send it backwards in step D. So click the Send Backward drop down arrow, and we're going to send behind text. So send behind text. When we click on that, then we get our text in front of it. Woohoo! We just kind of reordered all of it so that the text came forward and the shape went backwards. So step E, select the text on top of the shape and change the font color to white background 1. So they're thinking that maybe white, a white font would look better, so we're going to highlight it. We're going to go to our font colors, and we're going to pick white background 1, which is the first white option. And now we can read it a little bit better against the red. Okay, so then step 9, we're going to get a page break. So place your insertion point before day 7 on page 2. So let's get to page 2, day 7. So what happened here is, you can see day 7, we've got a split where the title of day 7 is on a different page than the rest of the content. So we want to keep them together. So we're going to place our insertion point before the words day 7. So I just put my cursor right there before day 7 and press Control Enter to insert a page break. So that's kind of the shortcut key to do it. So I'll hold down Control and then hit Enter, and then I've got day 7 on its own, or on the next page, so that the split keeps all of day 7 together. And really that's it. Now we can save and upload. So Hopefully yours looks like mine. We've got our nice pictures here on the right. Nice little tour of Italy. Looks so nice. Maybe I'll just take this as an itinerary if I ever decide to go. But you can go ahead and check and make sure that yours looks like mine. I'm going to hit save up here, one last save so that I don't forget before I go to submit, and I'll bring my SimNet back up. We'll go ahead and give it a shot here and see. Let's see, did I save the actual guided project? Yep, it's at the very top here for me. Let's open it up. You get to wait for it. Okay, yes, submit the file. See if I did all those pictures right as I was kind of just going through. Oh, 95%. Okay, let's figure out what we did here. I'm going to just click on the number 7, see what step I didn't get. Click the fill shape button, select gradient and linear up. So I may not have on my document actually applied the gradient, so I can go back into it. I'll go to, I need to click on the actual shape. Oh, this is going to be tricky because my text is in front of it. Okay, there we go. Got to get the actual shape selected, and then I'm going to go to Drawing Tools. I'm going to get my shape fill again, go to gradient, get my linear up dark variation. Okay, now that should have applied it, hopefully. We'll give it another try. Alright, so we go to assignments, we have to go down to our submitted, grab our 7-3, upload and save. We've got our new one. Submit the file. Alright, so that fixed the problem. I just apparently didn't actually apply the grade. So this is better. Let me know if you have questions, if something didn't work right for you. I'm happy to take a look. Otherwise, I hope it worked well, and we'll see you next time.